OpenAI buying a streaming network that calls itself SportsCenter meets LinkedIn is completely unhinged, right?
I disagree. It's a brilliant data play.
Maya, it's a sports networking app. They're building AGI, not a fantasy football league.
Look at the quarter. $1.2 trillion in M&A, but deal volume actually dropped 17%. Middle market bankers are starving while megacaps panic buy datasets.
Fair. But 1.2 trillion is still massive. Let's look at who else is inflating this monster quarter. The rundown. $1.2 trillion in a single quarter. I had to refresh my terminal 3 times this morning because I thought the data feed was broken.
It's not broken, but it is incredibly top-heavy. You're looking at that trillion-dollar figure and ignoring the fact that actual deal volume is down 17%. Middle market bankers are literally fighting over scraps right now, while the mega caps just throw billions at the wall.
Hey, a fee is a fee. And speaking of throwing billions, Unilever is merging its food business with McCormick for $44.8 billion. Now that is a spicy meatball of a deal.
I'm going to pretend you didn't just say that. Have you looked at the timeline? The press release is projecting a mid-2027 close. Mid-2027, Nate? That's corporate speak for we know the antitrust regulators are going to drag us through broken glass.
Oh, come on, it's mayonnaise and garlic powder. They'll divest a couple of mustard brands and get it done by Christmas 2026.
You're completely underestimating the current FTC. They're going to define the market as specifically paprika and block it.
We'll see. Meanwhile, across the pond, Danone is buying Huel for 1 billion euros. Yes, the meal replacement powder that tech bros drink when they forget to chew food.
And backed by Idris Elba, which is the only reason you care about this deal.
Stringer Bell selling space food to a French yogurt conglomerate is exactly the kind of late-stage capitalism I'm here for.
It fits the cross-border trend we're tracking. International deal activity is up 47% this year, hit $454.7 billion.
Domestic pharma isn't slowing down either. Gilead just dropped $2.2 billion for Uro Medicines to get their first-in-class T-cell engager program,
which puts Pharma M and A on track for a near-record $172 billion this year. Everyone is just desperately buying oncology pipelines.
And Publicis is expanding its sports footprint, buying the agency 160over90 from WME Group. 670 employees just got new corporate overlords.
A solid bolt-on, but none of these explain the absolute weirdest deal of the quarter. 4 of the 6 largest Q1 deals were AI-related, which makes sense. But then there's OpenAI buying TBPN.
Right. The platform everyone calls SportsCenter meets LinkedIn. I've been staring at the pitch deck all morning trying to figure out why an AI giant needs a sports streaming business.
I read the structure agreements, and I actually have a theory on exactly why they did it. The big one.
You look at a $1.2 trillion quarter, and you think the champagne is flowing. But I'm getting texts from former colleagues in the middle market who are literally fighting over scraps.
Because deal volume is actually down 17%. It's a completely top-heavy market. We're seeing these massive mega caps throwing billions around to mask the fact that nobody else is buying.
Exactly. If you're not selling an AI startup or a late-stage oncology pipeline, your pitch deck is currently holding up a wobbly desk.
The data proves it. 4 of the 6 largest deals this quarter were AI-related, which brings us to the absolute head-scratcher of the week.
I can't wait for you to tear this apart.
OpenAI acquiring TBPN. For anyone who missed it, TBPN is essentially a streaming network that markets itself as SportsCenter meets LinkedIn.
What a pitch. I want to meet the banker who coined that.
I want to know what they're smoking. Why on earth does an artificial intelligence giant need a B2B sports-style streaming network? I read the press release 3 times looking for the actual strategic rationale, and it's just a word salad about synergistic content ecosystems.
Okay, let me put my banker hat back on. I actually see the vision here.
Oh, please tell me you aren't buying the synergistic content ecosystem line.
Not the words, but the strategy. Look, OpenAI has the smartest models in the room, but they need distribution. They need a native platform to pump out generated video content, and TBPN has an incredibly sticky, high-income professional audience. It's a distribution play.
No, it's a desperate training data play. They're running out of high-quality human video to scrape, so they're buying a platform that generates thousands of hours of talking head professional content. You don't buy a streaming network for distribution when you literally have ChatGPT on every phone.
But ChatGPT is text and voice. Video streaming is an entirely different beast. You put an AI-generated anchor on a TBPN feed, you can customize the business news for every single viewer. That is the holy grail for advertisers.
And ruin the very thing that makes the audience sticky. Professionals watch TBPN because they want real industry analysis, not a deepfake reading a generated script. I'm calling this a vanity deal. The tech mega caps just have too much cash and not enough regulatory oversight right now.
I think you're underestimating the value of owning the pipes. If you control the content generation and the streaming platform, your margins are basically infinite.
Assuming the audience stays, which I highly doubt. I will bet you a steak dinner they write down this acquisition within 3 years.
Deal. I like my steak medium rare.
Moving from tech monopolies to grocery aisle monopolies, we need to talk about what is happening with the mayo and the spices.
The $44.8 billion Unilever and McCormick tie-up.
They're targeting a mid-2027 close, which implies they already know the antitrust regulators are going to drag them through the mud. Voices. Did you see the analyst note this morning? They're basically saying this entire quarter is a mirage.
A $1.2 trillion mirage?
Exactly. The top line looks amazing, but look at the quote. They said the market is being propped up by AI investments. 4 of the 6 largest first quarter deals are AI related. Meanwhile, overall deal volume is down 17%.
Right, mega caps are throwing billions around, while middle market bankers are literally fighting over scraps. I had a guy text me yesterday saying his entire MD class is just playing golf.
I'm playing zero violence for them. I actually think the AI narrative is hiding the real story. Industry watchers predict Pharma M, PC0 kadis hosikes in kosant, darikent tuktad. Spill the tea, more chen, hunter frequent was.
I just want to know who was in the room when someone pitched OpenAI on a streaming service described as SportsCenter meets LinkedIn.
You're acting like this is crazy, but look at the quarter we just had. $1.2 trillion in total deal value. 4 of the 6 biggest deals were AI related. They have the cash and they need a distribution fire hose.
A fire hose of corporate bro sports takes? Oh, come on. I'll bet my last remaining banker vest, this is a pure acqui-hire masked as a strategic pivot. The streaming tech is probably terrible.
Oh, the tech is definitely terrible. I read the footnotes on their user metrics. TBPN barely handled 10,000 concurrent viewers last month. But you can't ignore the macro picture here. Mega cap tech is completely propping up the market.
Propping up the dollar value, sure. But overall deal volume is actually down 17%. It's a total barbell market right now. You have tech giants throwing billions at anything with AI in the pitch deck, and big pharma like Gilead dropping $2.2 billion on oncology pipelines. Meanwhile, middle market bankers are literally fighting over scraps.
If by scraps you mean Idris Elba's meal replacement brand.
Wait, really?
Yep, Danone is scooping up Huel for €1 billion.
1 billion euros for influencer gruel? That's actually hilarious.
Hey, it has a very loyal following, and it proves my point. The deals happening right now are hyper-specific. You either have cutting-edge T-cell engagers, or you have celebrity protein powder. There is no middle ground.
Fair enough. I just feel bad for the mid-level VP trying to close a boring software buyout right now.
They'll survive. Speaking of surviving, I want to see if Unilever can survive the regulatory gauntlet they just signed up for. $44.8 billion for McCormick is not going to fly under anyone's radar. Tomorrow's radar.
Tomorrow, I am glued to the antitrust filings for this Unilever McCormick tie-up. $44.8 billion for the spice aisle.
Good luck staying awake. They are targeting a mid-2027 close.
I know it is an eternity, but you have to respect the sheer scale of the grocery consolidation.
I respect the delusion. Regulators are not going to just wave through a global monopoly on mayonnaise and garlic powder.
It is not a monopoly, it is a flavor synergy.
You cannot even say that with a straight face.
I cannot. I sound like a pitch deck. But seriously, the cross-border volume is what we should actually be watching tomorrow. Up 47% this year.
454.7 billion. Watch the pharma filings specifically. They are projecting 172 billion for 2026, just chasing oncology and immunology pipelines.
Everyone wants a blockbuster cancer drug.
Or a celebrity meal replacement shake, apparently. Speaking of weird consumer plays, are we ready to talk about Danone?
Oh, Idris Elba is about to get a massive payday.